Izzy in Black Butler, Lucy in Fairy Tale, Gage in Borderlands 2, Sailor Venus and Sailor Moon.
Borderlands, the Handsome Collection.
Yeah, Yoshka in Strike Witches, which I'm very excited that we're getting more of. Road and D. Greyman, which I know we're working on Hallow. Well, I'm not working on it yet. I hope I will be. I don't know. It's broadcast up. So she's in the poster. I'm hoping she shows up.
Please.
And I'm hoping we get to do the rest of the episodes from the first season. But yeah, this is a panel where I talk about the differences of film work, theater, voice work. But if you guys are like, I really just want to know what it was like to play this character, I'm not going to be like, that's off topic. I'm sorry. Please open your books to page whatever it is. Like, if you guys want to take the panel in a different direction, I'm totally cool with that. Does anybody have interest in being an actor or voice actor or... Sweet, okay. So you know if you want to be a voice actor, you actually just want to be an actor, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because normally I'm like, who wants to be a voice actor? Everybody raises their hand. I'm like, who wants to be an actor? Nobody raises their hand. I'm like, ooh, trick question. Because when I started out in this business, I was 6 years old, and my ultimate goal was to be on Barney. That did not come to fruition, which is, I guess, okay, I've gotten to do some other cool things. And I've worked with the voice of Barney a couple of times. But I just started out doing on-camera stuff and taking classes and wanting to do commercials and doing anything and everything that I could to prove to my parents that I could make it in this business, because they said, it's hard, you're not going to like it. And I was like, try me. So they're like, well, take this class, and you have to take this class, and it's hard work. And I was all about it. And then I had an agent who said 7-Eleven is casting for this little kid that they want, like a 3-year-old, to say all of the lines in this commercial talking about how Slurpees are made. And it's like this underground thing with Slurpee fairies and all of this stuff. And they, shocker, couldn't find a 3-year-old that could say all these big words. So they hired me at 7, who sounded like a 3-year-old, to do this commercial, and that's how I kind of fell into doing voiceover. It all stemmed from the fact that I was a 7-year-old who sounded like I was 3. So that's kind of how I fell into voiceover. I didn't intend to be a voice actor. I didn't know that voice acting for anime was a thing. My understanding of anime in my naive brain was that it was Sailor Moon, Pokemon, and Dragon Ball Z, and all those shows had English voice actors, so how would I get to work on them? And then fast forward a couple of years, and I'm working on Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon Crystal, and I'm like, well, this is amazing. I was on one of those shows that was all I thought anime was, and now I've gotten to do a couple of other shows. So it's very exciting. But because it's such a hard business and it's so competitive and everybody wants to do it, because they're like, oh, it's really fun, I love telling stories, and I love the show, and I want to act and jump into this fantasy world. It's very competitive, so you have to be willing to do commercial work, and you have to be willing to do film work, and be an extra, and do radio, and do whatever you can, because if you don't get work that month, your landlord, unless you just really lucked out with a really cool landlord, is not going to be cool with, I'm sorry I didn't get to act this month, can I pay you with a hug? Like, it's just probably not going to happen. If you have a landlord that's totally down with that, don't ever move. But yeah, so that's kind of been my experience as an actor. Do you guys have any questions about stuff, or I'll just start talking about the difference between all the different types of acting? Do you have a question?
Not right now.
No,
Sorry.
I know.
I'm just really trying to pay attention.
Oh, absolutely. I think the basic difference is between film work and stage, which I guess would be the most similar. Stage, obviously you're on stage. More than likely you're not going to get a mic unless you're doing a musical and you've got like 8 shows a week or 6 shows a week, and they don't want you to blow your voice out by projecting to the back row. But most of the time you would have to know that you have to project all the way so that everyone can hear you. So if you're in a smaller like black box space, you don't have to project as much. And a lot of people are like, well, you just yell. You don't want to yell because you're going to just kill your voice. And the whole point of acting, if you're telling a story where your character is like about to be attacked and she's trying to whisper in the corner, like yelling in this room, like, please don't kill me, is not gonna work because he's gonna find you. So you want to be able to project while whispering, but that's where voice and diction classes come in handy, and movement classes, and a really good director. So I guess the first thing is you always want to know where your audience is. For voiceover, your audience is this lovely little microphone right here, because if someone is wearing earbuds watching the anime or the cartoon or the video game, they're hearing you in their brain. So please don't yell and blow their ears out. Now, if that person has the volume up to max, that's on them. We have mix engineers that try to make it so that we're not super loud and destroying their ears. But so you want to make sure that you're not like blowing out the mic. Like, I don't need to yell right now because you guys, your ears are this close to my face. But for a film, it's the same situation. You usually have a microphone somewhere on your body, usually right here in the center, because it's got to be under your clothes so you can't see it, but you also don't want to yell there. And it's film, so if somebody's talking this close to your face, it's not going to make sense for you to yell at them unless you're mad at them. And usually in those scenes, if you're this close to someone, you're either going to kiss them or you're going to yell at them and kill them, and so you don't need to yell in either situation unless you're really mad. So that's the first thing. Figure out where your audience is and where how your volume needs to change. Now, figuring out facial expressions for voiceover, it doesn't matter. You can make crazy faces, and I can guarantee you, when I'm voicing a cat or a small child, I'm making a weird face. Because no one's going to see that. But for film, you're going to see it, and it's going to be on a huge screen, and so you usually have to get over the point of like, wow, I look really ridiculous in this scene, because that might be the case. Or, which even if like people be like, oh, that looks great, the whole time I'm like, I have two oddly shaped eyes. That big, I can see them all. You could tell I was tired this day. I just pick apart the entire scene. So you have to get over that when you're watching that. For stage, your facial expressions can be bigger, and they have to be because people that paid the same amount of money for a seat way in the back want to still be able to see the story as well as somebody way up in the front. So that's the difference with that. Film, voiceover, theater, usually you're telling a dramatic or a comedic story, so you want the relationships to be realistic and honest, and you're not selling anything. For a commercial, be it on camera or voiceover, you've got to say the product. You've got to highlight it. You have to billboard it. That's what they're paying you to do. But the trick is, you don't want to highlight it to the point and say these lines where it's fake, because we've all seen those commercials where we're like, this is the worst commercial I've ever seen. They don't believe anything they're saying. But when you see a great commercial where you feel like they're honestly talking to you and they really trust this product and they really love it, those are the people that are going to get hired. So you still need to often create a relationship, and if you're selling Tide, you have to talk about why you love Tide, and honestly why you believe in that. It's so silly. Everybody that I've talked to always says, I hate commercials, I don't want to do commercials. It's so weird. I'm like, but commercials pay the best of anything in the business. Voiceover commercials pay far more